Ninth Standard English Term 2 Poem 1 The Spider and the Fly, written by Mary Botham Howard. Will you walk into my parlor? Said the spider to the fly. This the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy. The way into my parlor is up a winding stair, and I have many curious things to show when you are there. So this is about a spider and a fly. This is a poem about a spider and a fly. The spider is asking the fly to come to his parlor. So parlor means his room. He is visiting fly to his room. This is the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy. So you would have never come like this beautiful room. He is telling. The way into my parlor is up a winding stair. He is telling that my parlor is the way will come winding. The stairs are winding, not a straight stair. It is coming like the circle, winding and coming like a screw or something, winding stairs. And I have many curious things to show when you are there. If you come there, I'll show more things. It is very curious for you to see. Oh, no, said the little fly. To ask me is in vain. For who goes up your winding stair can come never down again. He is telling, fly is telling, no, I will not come to your parlor, because I have heard before, if anybody is coming to your parlor means will never come down again. That's all, they will be stuck there itself. He is telling, fly is telling to the spider, I am sure you must be very dear with soaring up so high. Will you rest upon my little bed? Said the spider to the fly. There are pretty curtains drawn around, the sheets are fine and thin, and if you like to rest a while, I'll snugly stuck you in. He is telling, no, not like that. If you come, there are more things, but my little bed is also there, you can rest there. Spider is asking the fly to come. The pretty curtains drawn round, the sheets are fine and thin. If you like to rest a while, I'll snugly stuck you in. He is telling, come in my little curtains. They are very nice and thin curtains. You can rest there. If you want to do, I'll make you to be there itself. He is telling. Oh, no, said the little fly. For I have often heard it said, they never wake again who sleep upon your bed. Fly is telling, no, I will not come and sleep there. I have already heard, if anybody is coming and sleeping on your bed, will never wake again. That's all. Their matter will be closed. They will not come again, he is telling. Said the cunning spider to the fly, dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I have always felt for you? I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice. I am sure you are very welcome. Will you please to take a slice? He is telling. The spider is very cunningly telling to the fly. He is planning something to the fly and he is telling, no, dear friend, how I can prove my affection to you? How I have to show the affection? He is telling. I can't. How I have to prove you? I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice. More food, everything is there. You can come and see there. I am sure you are very welcome. You can come and take whatever you want. Will you please take a slice? He is asking. Please come and take one slice at least for you. Oh, no, said the little fly. Kind said, that can't be. I have heard what's in your pantry and I do not wish to see. He is telling. The fly is telling, no, sir. I have already heard. So in your pantry, I know what is there. I know I have heard already, he is telling. Sweet creature, said the spider, you are witty and you are wise. How handsome are your gauzy wings. How brilliant are your eyes. I have a little glass upon my parlor shelf. If you will step in one moment, dear, you shall behold yourself. He is telling, oh, you are sweet creature. Like that, the spider is telling to the fly, you are witty and you are wise. How handsome are your gauzy wings. How brilliant your eyes. He is describing his wings and eyes and everything. I have a little looking glass upon my parlor shelf, my one small glass is there, you can come and see, you can one step, you can come forward and you can see, and whatever you want you can take and see. He is telling. I thank you, gentle sir, she said, for what you are pleased to say, and bidding you good morning now. I'll call another day. The fly is telling, sir, I thank you, sir, but I am pleased to say I want to go, and good morning, I'll call you on the another day, sir. She is telling, and she is moving. The spider turned him round about and went to his den, for well he knew the silly fly would soon come back again. So he wove a subtle web in a little corner slide and set his table ready to dine upon the fly. So he knows someday he will come again to his den. Den means his web is there, no? One small, in the den, one small hole only, the web is there. Web is the house of the spider. So he is telling, and went into his den, for well he knew the silly fly would soon come back again. So he is thinking that the fly is very silly, so she will come back again. He is thinking. So he wove a subtle web in a little corner slide and set his table ready to dine upon the fly. So he is making a web ready for the fly, and when the fly is coming, he is thinking if it comes means will stuck on the web, and he is making the table to be ready. Then he came out to his door again and merrily did sing, come hither, hither, pretty fly, with a pearl and silver wing, your robes are green and purple, there is a crest upon your head, your eyes are like the diamond bright, but mine are dull as lead. He is telling, oh come, he is going near the door and singing again, come hither, hither, pretty fly, hey, come here with silver and pearl and silver wing. He is describing its wing as a pearl and silver wing. Your robes are green and purple. He is telling his robes are green and purple. There is a crest upon your head. So one small something will be there in the head. So he is describing that too. Your eyes are like diamond bright, but mine are dull as lead. He is telling your eyes are like diamond, but my eyes are like lead. Alas, alas, how very soon this silly little fly, hearing his willy flattering words, came slowly flitting by. With buzzing wings, she hung aloft, then near and nearer drew, thinking only of her brilliant eyes and green and purple hue, thinking only of her crest head. Poor foolish thing. The fly is listening the singing and coming, hearing his willy flattery words, coming slowly flitting by. That fly is hearing the spider's words, and he is coming with the busy wings. He is coming. Why he is coming? Because the spider is explaining about the brilliant eyes and purple and green wings, and the head also, crested head also. He is describing about the fly. So for this foolish thing, the fly is coming again. At last, up jumped the cunning spider and fiercely held her fast. He dragged her up in his winding stair into the dismal den within his little parlor, but she never came out again. See, this cunning spider, at last what he did? He jumped the cunning spider and fiercely held her fast. Once the fly came, immediately the spider jumped and fierced her. Fastly he holded her. He dragged her up his winding stair into his dismantled den. Dismantle means again it can't come again. Within his little parlor, but she never came out again. Once they went in, she didn't come again out. And now, dear little children, who may the story read? To idle silly flattery words, I pray you need give heed, and to an evil consoler, close heart and ear and eye, and take a lesson from this tale of the spider and the fly. So consoler means what? Somebody is advising you. So if somebody already has told this story to the fly about the spider, the fly also knows the story what will happen if she goes to the spider's den? Then again the spider is cunningly describing the fly like this, you are beautiful, you are like this beautiful, you are, but she knows everything and again she is falling into the evil. So children, we should not hear others' stupid words. We must have our own sense and we must think about the good and we must do. Okay, this story is written by Mary Botham Howitt. She was born on 1799 to 1888. She was an English poet. She was born on Colford in Gloucestershire. She was educated at home and read widely. She commenced writing verses at a very early age together with her husband William Howitt. She wrote over 180 books. So I think she is a great poet and she has written 180 books all over the world. Okay children, thank you.